We all have rights just because we exist, just because we're here, just because we were born. And people, because of our education system and because of how it works, don't understand what rights really are. Rights are something that no other person, entity, government, organization can give you. These are inalienable rights that you have because you exist. People can put them in a document, people can put them in a declaration, but that doesn't mean these people, organizations give you those rights. You simply have them no matter what. These are some of the most important rights that I want you to hear, feel them in here, and embody them as you hear them. The right to ensure one's survival. In essence, water, air, food, clothing, shelter. Those are natural rights, every being on this planet just through birth. The second really important right is freedom, the right to be free from captivity, slavery, involuntary servitude, invasion, coercion, force, or tyranny. This is not something that we need to even think about. It is freedom. That's what you're born with. That's who you are. You are inherently free. Another very important, list goes on, self-ownership. The right to make personal choices, determine actions and reactions, exercise exclusive authority over your thoughts, actions, and reactions. Very, very important. Self-defense, you have the right to protect yourself from injury, death, torture, force, tyranny, and or oppression, and you have the right to have control over your body, the right to seek care, to refuse care, and the right to administer self-care. It's really important. This is just one list that is super important right now. We are in a situation today where we see countries like Australia, where vast numbers of people are locked down. They're locked into their houses. I know this is happening in other countries where they are under tyrannical restrictions and rules and mandates. We see people in France that can't get to the grocery store unless they commit to and agree to medical rape. We see these things going on across the world, and the reason why your rights, our rights don't matter is because we have made and we've been making the same mistake over and over and over again. And I want to tell you a quick story. Years and years ago, I was in a place where I doubted a lot of things in my life, where things weren't working out for me. I didn't feel like anything was coming together. It was just hardship, struggle, and pain. And I remember one morning, I literally fell into a meditation, into a conversation with Spirit, into a conversation with God. And I asked God, I said, what's going on? Why is nothing working out? Why is nothing happening the way I wanted to? Why is everything so bad right now? And the answer I received very vividly, very clearly is, you have been given everything. There's nothing that you need. There's nothing that needs to be added. You've been given talents. You've been given strengths. You've been given the opportunities. You've been given the surroundings. You've been given the food, the air. Everything is already here. But the voice, I call it the voice of God. That's how it felt for me, also said, but you need to embody this. You need to use your strengths. You need to use your talents. You need to do these things that you've been given. Otherwise, nothing can work out for you because you're not using what you have been giving. And this applies 100% to our natural God-given rights. We haven't embodied them. We have allowed over and over and over again, piece by piece, little by little, for governments and entities to take away the rights, and we gave and we gave, and they took and they took. And we're in a situation right now where most people don't even understand that these are their God-given rights. They don't even understand that they are absolutely sovereign. You cannot be any other way unless you consent to not being sovereign. And so we're in this situation where millions, hundreds of millions of people are not aware that these are their rights. And it doesn't matter where you stand on the issues at hand. It doesn't matter where you stand on masks or where you stand on vaccines. It does not matter what you believe about that. What matters is freedom. What matters is principles. Principle is something that comes first. It's the foundation of everything. Principle cannot be changed or altered or put on pause, no matter what the cause, no matter what thing is going on. Principles are principles. Freedom is freedom. And so we're seeing this situation, and the reason why this is working is because we're not embodying and we're not standing in our God-given natural rights. It's so easy. When you begin just realizing who you really are, what you are, and that you've been given that, what could happen? And you need to understand this also from a law standpoint. If a law, rule, mandate violates a right, that law, rule, or mandate is null and void. It's invalid, even in the eyes of the law, because a law can never rise above the rank of a fundamental principle, which is a right. A law can derive from a right, but it cannot move above the right. The right comes first. And so when your right is violated, that law is invalid. It's nothing, worthless. A worthless piece of paper, nothing, no meaning whatsoever. But if you don't know that, you go along with all of that, giving up a little by little by little by little. And this is what we're seeing now. In the history of governments, rights have only ever been taken. They've never been given back or extended, ever. That's the sorry state of the detachment, of the emancipation of a body that believes it has rights on its own. Governments don't have any rights by themselves. They're just administrations. They're there to manage certain things that we the people allow them to manage. That's the only right a government has. By itself, it means nothing. It has nothing. It is nothing. But people have forgotten this. This has completely been lost in education, been lost in everything. This is a spiritual principle of understanding who you are and understanding that if you don't embody what is yours, your talents, your strengths, your rights, if you don't embody that, then they don't exist, because you're not putting any life into it. Everything where life is not put into it is worthless, useless. You can't do anything with it. And that's what we're seeing right now. But this isn't enough. Just to do that is not enough. We have to also understand how this whole game is being played and what you can do, because this is the number one question that we get. I understand this information. I understand what is going on. I see the tyranny. I see the oppression. I see the dictatorships, but I can't do anything. People need to wake up. Others need to wake up. That's not how this works. Let's rewind a little bit and let's see how this actually does work. What is this messaging, this matrix outside of us constantly doing? And let's use the number one tool that it still uses to do that. It's TV. What does TV really mean? Television. Does it really mean television, or does it mean tell-a-vision? Tell-a-vision. That's what the Matrix does 24/7, 365 days out of the year. Simply just that. They just tell a vision. It's not reality that they report on or tell. It's their preferred version. And so when they blast this out long enough and people hear it long enough, they just begin to believe it. It doesn't make it real, authentic, true, and none of that matters. They're simply telling a vision. Now I'm asking you, if they're telling a vision every day, all day, couldn't you do the same? Couldn't you also go out and tell a vision, embody a vision, speak a vision, feel a vision, become a vision? Couldn't you and all of us, couldn't we do this? Couldn't we use the tools we have at hand? Couldn't we embody what we really desire to be? Couldn't we become the vision that we want to see in the world? Couldn't we become the tellers of a new vision